How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SNDL Sundial growers. We have been seeing a lot of strength in many stocks in the cannabis sector, and of course Sundial is able to benefit from this. Also, they do have earnings that is coming up. There's a lot of demand for shares in the market, and we are seeing some momentum. I'm going to talk about it further inside of this video, but before I get started, let's get into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels so you can find opportunities and also know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial growers. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 72 cents, being up 2.87%. On the low, it tested 66 cents, and then on the high, testing 73 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 111.198 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days, being at 90.644 million shares. So right away, when you get this above average volume coming in and there's buying pressure, you're going to see some strength in SNDL. Now, when we take a look at the 1-year daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it is at 61.18. So we have been on quite the uptrend here. And then when we take a look at the moving averages on the chart, we are below the 200-day. We're also below the 100-day. But also one thing that I love to see, we are above the 21-day EMA and as well as the 50-day. So when I was talking about SNDL in previous videos, I was saying you want to get as low as you can in the 60-cent range. So now that we have this move up, you can see we have an area of resistance right here around 73 cents on the day. And as far as for support is concerned, we saw it right here around 66 cents. So as far as for the bullish case scenario, you're going to want to see SNDL make that strong push where we'll start seeing some resistance right here at 73.96 or 0.7396. So what that tells us, 74 cents is going to be an area, a psychological area that we need to break through so we can get to 75 and then see if we can catch up here to the 100-day around 76. If we do decide to have a pullback where I want to see some strength, I would love to see SNDL hold up this 70-cent range. I feel this is very doable, but if it's unable to do that, then I'm looking for some strength around the 69 to 68 cent level. So let's see how SNDL performs, but for the most part, it is looking fairly bullish. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SNDL. So scrolling down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see here for November the 9th, we have Pro Equities Inc. that went in with a put, and we also see that they have a call as well. As far as closed positions, we have Marietta Investment Partners, and we also have QuantBot Technologies. As we scroll down even further, reputable Canadian bank here, TD, being at a position of 1,504 shares, and we also have SRS Capital Advisors that went in with 13,000 shares, and we also see Advisor Group Holdings that went in with a call as well. And even if we go back even more, we have Morrison Cabot that went in with 76,349 shares, and we also have Transcend Wealth Collective that went in with 40,000 shares. So we do have institutions that have been picking up shares of SNDL. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 30.69%. And then for the dark pool short volume being just over 47.4 million shares. As we scroll down even further, the short shares availability is at 1.3 million, updated just now. And then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 8.67%. As we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of November the 8th, it was at 30.69. And then for the close of the 9th, which is today, is at 27.35. So what this tells us, yes, the short interest has gone down, but SNDL still has short squeeze potential, because normally we look for 21% or higher, and it still continues to fulfill that criteria. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SNDL. So you can see here on the inflow is 17.50, and then on the outflow is 24.13. Taking a look at the breakdown, we had 0 on the large, 11.47 on the medium, and then 6.03 on the small. Keep in mind, this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0.24. On the medium, it was 15.60. And then on the small, it was 8.29. So overall, having an outflow day. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, November the 9th, it being an outflow of 240.3, but we did have an inflow day yesterday, which was at 180.58. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, we could see as far as for the retail side, there was a lot more selling than we had buying. So this could be some profit taking. And then when we take a look at what was going down on the medium, we had more selling as well. And of course, for the large scale orders, we had more selling and we had 0 buys on the large. And now when we take a look now at the turnover ratio, it is at 5.45%. So this is not too bad whatsoever. But keep in mind, as far as the shares outstanding, I think SNDL has like 2.04 billion. So yes, there's going to be many people who are holding on to their shares, especially if they got them at good cost averages, or even when it was actually higher in the stock, especially when it was above $1. But there also is a good amount of traders inside of the play. So this is one thing that contributes to the overall volatility of the stock. So now let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for SNDL Sundial growers, most preferably, I would love to see them hold support at 70 cents going into tomorrow and leading up into earnings. A clear area of resistance is right at 74 cents. If we're able to get above 74, then I'll be looking forward to seeing that momentum start picking up and more traders jumping into the play. If we end up breaking through that 70-cent range, then of course I could see us getting back down to 68. And as far as where it would go from there, you'd have to really just keep your eye on it and see how it would perform. Also, as far as when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, SNDL does continue to have short squeeze potential. And you know what? This has always been the case for this play. There's a lot of negative market sentiment around the stock. But the other thing that you want to know about is that they have been doing a lot with the cash that they have on hand. And as far as on the operational side, taking a look at acquisitions that they have made, I would really want to see how this earnings report turns out. I feel if they end up putting out a solid earnings report, it would help the stock and bring it up in the direction that many people want to see it get to. Will it be able to get to $1 again before the end of the year? I actually got this question. I myself personally, I am not seeing it. And also, as far as from my personal opinion, I would love to see SNDL actually get to 80 cents first, and then we could actually start looking at the $1 range. So SNDL, let's see you get up to 80 cents. And I think it is very doable for this stock within a year. So from this date of this recording, it should be able to visit the $1 level again. I think that is very doable. It's very achievable, but this is a penny stock, so don't go YOLOing your whole portfolio on SNDL because you said, hey, Dre said it's at 70 cents. It's going to go to $1. I can grow my portfolio. Do not do this. This is putting all your eggs in one basket. And at the end of the day, as far as for your portfolio is concerned, you want to make sure your investments are concentrated in proven businesses. All right? SNDL is still working at it, and we got to give them the time to actually grow into their valuation, of course, and also being able to see that there's more momentum coming back into the cannabis sector. We noticed this since last week, right? We've been seeing some changes. We've been getting some updates in regards to legalization. So this is why the whole sector has been pretty hot. And what I'm going to be keeping an eye on is to see if it ends up cooling down or where that's at. But I know for a fact SNDL does have the potential to move up even further, and I'll make sure to keep you guys inside of the loop. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.